Hello, my loves. If you're seeing this, this is a channel collective message for someone who is really stepping into a space within themselves and their external world in a way that is a lot more balanced and a lot more accepting and grateful of everything that has come before and everything that you know, or you are feeling more open to what is coming next. This collective has likely been going through, or you may have likely been going through, a lot of emotional upheavals, a lot of deep revelations, a lot of confirmation stays, a lot of changes that have had you asking yourself, am I actually living the way, one, that is me, and the way that you actually want to live? You may have grown up experiencing a lot of trauma, a lot of hardships that impacted your ability to feel like yourself and feel confident embodying and being yourself. Or perhaps you always just felt like you couldn't take up space. For whatever the reasons, whatever the particular experiences that left you feeling that way. And you've worked hard to release and relinquish those beliefs and integrate new ones. This next phase that you're stepping into, that this collective is stepping into, is one that is a lot more emotionally freeing, or it's something that you're really finally allowing yourself to have, allowing yourself to exist in a space of, yeah, this feels right for me. This nourishes me. This serves me. I'm hearing building blocks, like you've been trying to kind of put the pieces together, or you're learning to slowly build again. And I'm also seeing sort of like puzzle, like those foam puzzle mats that kids used to have, preschools I think used to have, those foam puzzle mats. And I'm seeing sort of like the puzzles pieces being put together. And I feel like that's the state. Nova, come here. This is my cat scratching. I feel like that's the space that you're in, or that you're slowly moving into, and you're learning not just like what puzzles should fit or can fit, but what you want to fit. And again, I feel like these feelings are actually coming from you because you're really listening to yourself, and you're really nourishing and wanting to nourish more of yourself. It's not easy. It's not the same thing every single time. And you're realizing that this is something that you're going to be tackling or having to deal with in a way that involves acceptance. What's coming in for this collective as well is this really big phase of, I want to say newness, a lot of new beginnings, but it feels very magnetic, and it feels very nonsensical, which is weird. I feel like a lot of the things that are going to be entering your life over the next few weeks and months, they're going to come to you through a process of, well, that doesn't make sense, a process of just following the feeling, following the vision, or following what the spark, what lights you up. And if that's something that you've already been practicing, or you've been told that that's how you work, or that you felt guided to needing to do more of that, then this is definitely for you. Because again, we can get so overwhelmed and be so focused on what we think we need, or what we think we should be doing, especially when society and logic is involved. We tend to then avoid our emotions, or avoid that spark within us, because we want to appease to the pressure, or appease to looking or being or existing in a certain way, even though it's not us. And that's what's changing. That's a big part of what's changing. And so a lot of the things that are going to be entering your life and your sphere, like your world, is coming through, nonsensically. Like, it's not linear. Like, it's not exactly adding up that, of course, that happened because of this. But I'm hearing that the more you follow your spark, the more you follow the joy, the more you follow and really practice listening to the yes that you have inside of you, the more you're going to connect with and receive and achieve the things you wanted to, or you thought of, or that you set out to do, even though you didn't know how it would happen and you didn't plan how it would happen. So I feel like there's a lot of a release of the how and more of just the fact that you want and why you want it. And there's this trust in between that sort of gets you there. So it's a really, really interesting process. And it's one that's going to become very integral to, I'm hearing your relationship with money. I'm hearing your relationship with your friends. I'm hearing just your day-to-day allowing, your day-to-day living. This was very, very prominent and very much kind of like, why haven't I lived like this whole time? Another thing that Spirit wants to seem to show you and remind you of is that this isn't going to feel perfect and it's not going to feel clear all the time. And there's something about embracing not the chaos, but embracing the whimsy, embracing things not looking picture perfect, and embracing the fogginess at times, and letting things be revealed to you when you feel it, not when you think you need it to be revealed to you. So it's a different type of surrender. It's not a surrender where you're just not doing anything. It's a surrender to the moment by moment, and then responding to that feeling, to that spark, to that slow building back of trust within yourself. And I'm hearing confidence as well feels really significant. Your confidence could have really been impacted recently, or this sense of, maybe even a sense of capability, or questioning yourself, questioning your decisions, questioning, will I ever really do this? Will I ever really achieve this? Will I ever really create this? Again, I feel like something that you created disappeared or was lost or stopped working. This seems to be like a question that's, you could be like experiencing a lot of nausea or just like upset tummy, maybe even just some digestion issues. And I'm hearing stress as well. But I'm hearing you're learning to nourish yourself through stress and nurture yourself through stress. And it's not you're teaching yourself that it's not as dire straits as you maybe think it is sometimes. That is a bit of a survival mechanism that kicks in every now and then. But you're doing a good job of nurturing your way through that. But what I'm hearing is the next steps aren't going to be clear. The how is not going to feel clear. But you're learning to trust yourself through that. Yeah, this feels really, really big. And that confidence is going to slowly come back the more that you just show up for yourself. Okay, the more that you keep going, even when it doesn't make sense, even when everything isn't happening in front of you. And you've known this for a while. There is a sense of patience, but there's also a sense of just deciding and needing to just be a bit more, yep, this is what I want and this is what's going to happen, and I trust the in-between, and I will be led to it, and I will respond, and I will show up as needed, as I feel it. So there's just a need and needing to be just a bit more decisive and less pondering, less wondering all the time. Decisions are going to be your best friend, is what I'm hearing. That decisive energy, that, yep, I'm going to do it energy, or just saying something as it is and deciding that something is going to be a certain way, that is going to be a beautiful framework and a beautiful support structure that you can lean on. And I think you're then going to really appreciate the magic of what it means to be so decisive, because decisions come through with confidence. So that's sort of like a building block that you're going to use to get back that confidence and to get back, or not get back what you lost. It's think about what you think you lost, but create what you actually always wanted to create. So there's like a return of loss is what I'm hearing, but there's also like this sense of it's better and bigger than what you actually lost. So that's why you're going to end up being really, really grateful for this process, because you're going to be like, oh, I didn't actually even want those things that I lost. I just felt ashamed because loss feels like failure and all that. So being decisive is going to be your best friend. Your best friend. Practice it on the daily. Practice just asking yourself, do I want this? Yes or no? Yes? Good. No? No. That's what it is. And then letting the rest unravel. That feels very, very, very important. And that nausea will dissipate. That nausea will dissipate. Because sometimes your stress actually comes up in the in-between, when things feel undecided, when things feel unstable. Stability, I'm hearing for you, comes through decisions, being decisive, and showing up and backing those decisions. Interesting. This is really interesting. I don't think you thought this was going to be what it was for you, because you've always wanted freedom and you've always wanted flow and freedom, but you're going to realize that that freedom needs to be supported in some way. That flow needs to be supported in some way. And this is how. This is the framework. I'm hearing if you need a framework, again, this is the work that I do. Besides all this channeling and being a psychic healer, I built frameworks that support people with their emotions, that support people with emotional freedom. I'll link it below if you need it. Feel free to watch my other videos if that feels like something that you might be feeling called to. But this is the basis of all my work. This is the basis of why I'm here. Anyway. Yeah, there's something about integrating structure back into your life in a way that comes from you. It's not placed on top of you because of an outside perspective, because of an outside ideal. You're realizing that was never really what you wanted. You just were too scared to take up space in what you wanted. So you stopped asking yourself what you wanted, and now you're asking yourself what you wanted, what you want, and it's being shown to you. But it's not all going to make sense. It's not all going to show up in one. It's going to come slowly once you continue to build that trust and strength with your confidence in your capability again. And that's where you're going, and that's where you're being led to. Any final messages, please, Spirit, for this lovely person, this lovely collective? And I'm hearing lead with passion. Lead with passion. I'm hearing something about that's when you're people, that's when community, that's when the right people come in. When you lead with passion, when you are so unapologetically you, and you're not afraid to take up that space anymore. There could be something about clearing your expression, your throat chakra as well. Moving through shame. Yeah, it's big stuff, but it's what you're ready for, because it wouldn't be showing up if you weren't able to handle it. If you're needing that emotional support framework, I will link it below. But otherwise, I love you. You've got this. You're doing incredible.